The moment the Epstein Files became public, the world reacted with shock, confusion, and intense curiosity, because many people noticed something unexpected inside these documents: the appearance of powerful public figures, business leaders, politicians, and globally recognized names. And that immediately raised one major question: why would influential people appear in investigative records connected to Jeffrey Epstein? And more importantly, what does that actually mean? Because the reality of these documents is far more complex than most headlines suggest. The Epstein Files are not a list of criminals. They are collections of legal records including court filings, depositions, contact books, flight logs, and investigative notes gathered across years of investigation. And in large federal investigations, law enforcement records anyone who may have had contact, communication, or proximity to a suspect, not because they are accused, but because investigators map relationships and movements. And that is why names of well-known public figures, such as former President Donald Trump, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, and other high-profile individuals have appeared in public discussions surrounding the documents. However, the critical legal reality is that being mentioned in investigative records does not equal criminal charges, and it does not establish guilt. In the American justice system, evidence must meet strict legal standards before accusations become prosecutions, and documents often include references that investigators later dismiss or never pursue. For example, contact lists simply record who was known or connected at some point. Flight logs show travel records but do not explain circumstances, and witness testimony can include claims that must be verified independently. And this is where public misunderstanding grows, because when powerful names appear next to a criminal investigation, the public assumes hidden meaning. But investigators often record information broadly to ensure no possibility is ignored. The presence of a name may reflect association, communication, or even a brief interaction that required verification. Not evidence of wrongdoing, the Epstein case itself demonstrated how wealth and influence can create extensive social networks, and investigators were tasked with understanding every connection, every location, and every possible lead. Victim statements and witness accounts were collected carefully, yet prosecutors must still confirm facts, establish timelines, and prove criminal conduct beyond reasonable doubt before charges can exist. And many individuals mentioned in documents were never charged with any crime related to Epstein, which highlights the difference between public speculation and legal determination. Transparency in legal proceedings allows documents to become public, but transparency without explanation often leads to confusion. Because raw legal material is complex and easily misinterpreted, the Epstein Files therefore reveal more about investigative scope than hidden guilt. They show how major criminal cases expand outward, touching social circles, financial networks, and institutional connections. And they demonstrate how proximity to power complicates investigations. But they also show the limits of documentation, because courts require proof, not assumptions, and the danger of misunderstanding. These records is that public attention shifts from verified facts to speculation, overshadowing the victims and distorting the legal process. What the Epstein Files ultimately teach is that justice is slow, evidence-driven, and built on due process, not on viral claims. And while powerful names may generate curiosity, the presence of a name in a document represents a question investigated by authorities, not a conclusion reached by a court. And understanding that difference is essential to understanding the truth behind the Epstein Files.